it without you reminding me. There we go. Of course, not to Facebook, but only to YouTube. Um, cool. Here we are. My cat Olivia is sitting behind my computer, but she doesn't want to play. She just wants to look out the window into the darkness. Um, so, any improv thoughts, questions, comments, light bulbs going off over the head, confusions, um, realizations, whatever, anything. Let's start with your stuff. No thoughts?
Last week about repetition when I had a scene with Chrissy. Turns out that's not just a dialogue repetition, but her shaking. I repeated. So
Oh, last week,
we,
right?
yeah,
I
we
remember
can.
that.
I realize we can physically repeat each other as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, physical
Mirroring.
mirroring. Yes. Right. That's always a good thing to do. It's easier to do it in person, but
Hmm.
it can be done. Uh, yeah, and you can also repeat what you say. You don't have to repeat what someone else says. You can repeat yourself,
My God.
which I do a lot. Um, anything else? Nothing. No.
This is called Metro Manila lockdown silence.
Hmm. Well, it turns out to be mostly my voice then. Um, hate that. So, if anyone has a thought,
Is
uh,
there a thing like a detective improv?
yes.
Wow.
Um,
What's that?
you mean like a murder mystery kind of
Murder
thing?
mystery.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, for sure. I know guys who do it. There's a few of them down where I am.
Oh, I have
Um,
a question. Hey,
mhm.
later.
Yeah,
After that.
yeah. It's a thing. I mean, it's yes, and it's kind of cool. The good thing about it, from an improviser standpoint, is you usually get paid um,
Hmm.
pretty decently to do it. The bad thing is that it's kind of sort of improv. I mean, there's kind of a script and it's kind of a thing, a bunch of things you're supposed to do, this and that and this and that. So it's improvised, but it's not really. It's practiced and it's this almost the same every time. But it is improvised. So and it is does involve improvisers, but they get paid. And the ones I've talked to who've done it, which is quite a few people in my troupe, from time to time, they enjoy it. So uh, yeah, it's a thing. They do it in restaurants. They do it in cafes. Somebody was doing it on a train, uh, like a Murder on the Orient Express thing. That was like a they were doing it in one car of a train. It was kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah, right. I mean, I hate train travel to begin with. I don't think I would want to be stuck in that car. I I really would just want to be reading my book, and I would not be happy to be stuck in that car. But yeah, yes, you had something.
Oh, yeah. Uh, it's also about another improv type or genre. We're taking classes. Well, I started taking classes with a guy who teaches dramatic improv, and
Mm.
his basis is Shakespeare and um, the likes.
And Greek
And
theater.
yeah, yeah, and it's all about like his terms are like for beginning, middle, and end. It's exposition, inciting moment, retarding moment. So, what I just wanted to ask what you thought of dramatic improv.
Well, I think dramatic improv is incredible. Um, I personally think that in order to do comedic improv, you really need to be doing dramatic improv. Um, I don't think there's much of a difference. A little, there is a difference, but I don't think there's much. Um, I think it's just where you are, kind of what the expectation of the crowd that's watching you. If they're expecting to see comedy and you do drama, they're going to laugh because they'll think it's funny. Um, but we do a lot of dramatic stuff, and when we do musical improv, which we're going to be doing a couple of musical improv shows in a couple of weeks. Um, that's extremely dramatic. It's very theatrical and over the top, and play to the audience and sing to the audience, and falling in love and falling out of love and killing people and all that stuff. So it's very dramatic in a way, but it's funny. But you don't have to have the funny. I do think it's great to do dramatic improv. I know people here who, in Hollywood and in New York, who are actors, who dread improv. They dread having to do improv because they like to have lines, and they like to know their places, and they like to have costumes, and they like to have props, and they like to know what to expect, and they dread being asked to do dramatic improv. Um, I have taught and directed, and will be doing it again soon. Shakespearean improv, but comedic Shakespearean improv. Um, it's a great. It's a great, and you don't have to know a damn thing about Shakespeare to learn how to do it. Um, but the more you do know, the better. But um, when I was doing that down in Miami, it was killer, killer. In fact, it was Shakespearean musical improv, so it was really interesting, and I'm up for all that kind of stuff. I've seen improv based on particular playwrights, like David Mamet, or improv based on Moliere. For God's sake, I mean, who does that? Maybe in New York, they'll do that kind of shit, but you can't get away with it anywhere else. But yes, I don't know how much of an audience there is for it.
That's interesting.
It kind of falls in under performance art, really. I don't know how it where the audience is, but I'm the audience. I'd go for sure. And it's not very, yes, and we do narratives, like 25-30 minute stories, a movie, or a play, and we have certain ways of doing it, and it's dramatic, uh, but it's also funny, and there is the exposition and the rising action and the climax and the falling action and all that stuff. So we do cover that stuff, but there's not that much of a difference between dramatic improv and comedic improv necessarily. So
Not much.
you don't have to learn a whole new thing to do dramatic improv if you do things the way I do them.
That's
So
true.
that's my take on that. It's a good question. There's a dramatic improv. Um, there's a dramatic improv festival. There's a couple of dramatic improv festivals in Europe somewhere. I think in France, England,
The teacher we have is German.
Germany too.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep, German. Oh, there's Dennis.
Can't hear you, Dennis.
Mute.
Can't hear you.
Nothing.
Nope. Can't hear you.
But he's not saying anything either.
Yes. Well, yes, he is, but we don't hear him. He can hear us.
Maybe in China.
Dennis, you look like a baby today.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe he'll sort that out. Anything else? I over answered your question. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Mm,
Nothing else? Okay. Let's see here. All right. So, is there anything in particular that you want to? Oh, he's back. Try again. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
yes.
Sort of.
Sorry, I just had some technical difficulties.
Yun. Ayun.
It's
Sorry,
still a
guys.
little hard to hear. I mean, you're still in and out.
So there's a problem.
When you held the mic close, then I could hear you better. But
There.
now talk. I can't tell.
Now you can't hear me now.
Yes, we can.
We can.
This is
Yes.
good. Is this good?
This will work.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Apologies, guys. Sorry. Some technical difficulties.
Okay. So, is there anything anyone wants to go over before I make decisions? I mean, it's
Is there
your time.
anything you want to tell us about the playtime last week?
No, I'm not giving notes on that. That was just for fun. Gonna keep it there. I wasn't looking at it critically at all, and it was just for fun.
Oh, speaking of notes, when do you want to talk about it?
Well, I was going to do it last week, but there were a few people signed up who were brand new, and it would have wasted their time. But
Right.
we
So,
we could do it, but I'm hearing myself. Why am I hearing myself?
echo.
Why am I hearing an echo? Now it's gone. What the hell?
Fine.
Must be Florida. So I could write them down and send them,
Sure.
but
As long as it's not too much trouble on your end.
it's not trouble.
Okay.
You know?
As long as you can use Carl
Or
Beethoven's account.
maybe those of us who are interested can send you a private message that you can respond to, maybe
A private message? How?
through Messenger.
I can't
Yeah.
use
have
Messenger.
Facebook.
Carl,
You can't at all, not even with the Tao page. Okay.
through Carl Beethoven.
Yes, from Kyle can use Messenger. It's Kyle von Beethoven. Yeah, I'll send Lilith, since I have his email, since I got that off of wherever the hell I got it. Where did I get it?
You can
Instagram.
Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that's what it was. So I'll send him a link so we can all get together again until my Facebook issue gets solved. And then we can do it in writing. And then once we do it in writing, then we can discuss it.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
It's easier. Yeah, just little things. So let's discuss the reason that we say that improv, that comedic improv is like dramatic improv. Someone want to tell me? At least I'll say this right now. What I'm telling you about how I do improv and how I teach it and direct it and how it works for me is one way. Someone else will tell you something completely different. If it works, do that too. If you can combine them, that's great too. I'm not telling you the only way of doing anything. I'm just telling you what works, and what will help you, what will make it easy. Not because people are stupid, but because people have other things to do when they're doing improv rather than think about rules. And help you be more consistent, help you do good improv every single time, not just when you happen to be inspired or you happen to have a great partner. So what I'll tell you is my solutions. They they're not the only ones. Um, so someone want to tell me why comedic improv and dramatic improv are kind of like that.
Go, George.
Based upon all the shit you've heard me say.
Because both are grounded in reality.
Hmm. Right. That's what this.
Because they must come from a place of truth.
I know.
Well, they don't must, but they should. Or it's the way I like to do it. It should. It seems to work. Yeah, I'd like to. If I'm watching you do improv or anyone, I'd like to believe you. I'd like to believe that the words coming out of your mouth and the things that you're physically doing are things that your character really would do, even if they're strange. Maybe they're strange, but your character is strange, and your character really would do that, and I need to be convinced of that. I need to be convinced that you're not just trying to be funny, trying to be clever, trying to shock somebody. That there's a connection between you and another person on stage. And the only thing that's important in an improv scene, the only thing that's important in an improv scene is the connection between the people in it. That's it. There's nothing else that's important. All the other stuff is nice. But if you have other stuff without the connection, you're lost. If you have the connection only and no other stuff, you're fine. Because the connection is what people in the audience lean forward and look at and pay attention to. So that's one thing that makes it like dramatic improv. There's tension, there's a connection, there's a story, there's drama going on. It may be so finely tuned that it's funny, but it's still there's something real going on, which makes it impactful, but it also makes it easy. You don't have to think about anything other than how do I connect with this other person? How do I make myself vulnerable? How do I take their vulnerability and make it part of me? And how do I connect? I recently being in rehearsal Tuesday night, I recently did an improv scene with someone who should know better, who just wasn't thinking. And the instruction was to be grounded, and they weren't. So in that scene, they had an idea of what was funny and what would be cute and what would be a joke. And it was a 10-minute scene. And in that scene, nothing that I said or did made any impact on that other person. I couldn't say or do a thing. Anything, it just bounced off, and they kept doing the same thing over and over again, thinking, okay, I'm going to play this role, and you're going to be this. And at no point was there a status shift. There was so many opportunities for it, and I tried, and there was none. I even did something I would never usually do in an improv scene. I took out a knife, and I stabbed him in the chest. And even that, well, you didn't really stab me. I mean,
Oh, he said,
really?
If
No,
ouch,
it's like I'm fine. It's like, why am I here? Basically being thrown under the bus for a joke. And what was the use of the joke? How funny could it have been for 10 minutes? So when you lack that connection, it's when you make it impossible to connect with you make it impossible to do improv. Someone's going to be doing jokes, and this isn't joke time. So That's why it's connection time. It's real time. So that's
Tom,
why it's similar.
I have a question. Are
Yeah.
there any exercises that will help us practice building connections or strengthening connections with our partners?
Well, yes, there are quite a few. Uh, some of them aren't easy to do online, um, but one thing you can do is the thing that we've done before is the repetition game, the Meisner exercise of repeating back and forth until somebody decides to change it slightly, and then repeat that back and forth until someone changes it slightly. Um, in doing that, you have to be connected because there's nothing else. There's no
Mm.
jokiness to fall back on. There's no context. You, the only thing you've got is this other person, and every time you say the same things back and forth, they mean something different because of your inflection and because it's been said before. So that will help you connect. Um, in in person, there's so many things you can do. I had some students once who simply, these two particular students, simply would not do grounded work. They tried, but they just couldn't get to do it. And so they were in a scene together in a class, and they just weren't connecting. So I told them to sit down and have their knees touching one another the entire time, at least one knee touching one knee, uh, making physical contact. That's I told them to do that for the entire scene. Don't break physical contact. You don't have to talk about that. Just do that. As soon as they did that, everything was great. As soon as they did that, they were connected. They did grounded stuff. They needed
Oh.
to touch one another in order to actually really believe that they were both there, and it worked. So that's another thing you can do. There's many, but you can, if you know a language that your scene partner doesn't know, and if your scene partner happens to know a language that you don't know, if you can do scenes in a language that the other person doesn't know, um, and yet pretend that you do know what they're saying. Don't act like, what did you say? I don't know what you're saying. If you actually do scenes like that, you will find that you'll get connected as well, because you'll have nothing else to rely on. uh, it takes everything else away, and you have to rely on connection with that person. You've got to look right at them to understand what they're saying, because their language isn't telling you. So eventually, pretty quickly, you begin to actually understand one another. Um, and when you sit and witness that, that's the best sales pitch for connection, because you sit in the audience and you watch that happen, and you see how these two people are connected, even though they're speaking languages that neither one understands. They have to be connected. They're in the same predicament, and that does it. It it's beautiful. Yeah, some improv teachers like to have people do scenes in gibberish, talking nonsense.
Mm.
I don't believe in it. I think that when you talk gibberish, you're using a part of your brain that is not a creative part. You're thinking about it,
Mm.
and the nonsense that's coming out of your mouth doesn't even mean anything to you.
Mm.
And so you're not going to be making normal reactions or facial reactions when you speak gibberish. You're too busy trying to think of what gibberish to say.
Mm.
So it doesn't really work. It seems like it should, but it doesn't. Um, but if you can figure out a way to do that language thing, boy, that really works. So those are a few things you can.
Question.
Yeah.
How do you handle people who tend to like come in, like introduce alien and other imaginary characters?
Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, somebody who always wants to be strange,
Yeah,
always wants to be, yeah, he does not want to do grounded work. Um,
I personally like really don't like
yeah,
it. So I
it's very discouraging to work with that. It's childish. It's a childish approach to improv. It's let's all be children and make believe. And maybe there's a place for it, but not in my troupe. So that person
Mm.
wouldn't last in my troupe very long. So you wouldn't, if you were in my troupe, you wouldn't have to worry about that very long. Um, uh, it's nice to be able to do that every once in a while, like to have that, and every once in a while, if it's needed, to be able to throw that kind of thing in. But if that's your go-to and that's what you do, and you can't be normal, and then I don't know what you're doing, and I just wouldn't do improv with them. I just wouldn't.
Mm. Mm.
I would leave. I'd find another troupe, find another bunch of people to play with. Quite honestly, it's not. It's they're not your tribe if that's what they're doing. Um, because there's nothing you can do with that. What are you supposed to do? You, you're just you're nothing to them. They're doing all this stuff, and what can you do in response to that?
Mm.
Nothing. So it's a little silly. So I
can
would
you can you ask one more question?
okay.
Um, I noticed we don't do like there's some groups that start sessions with asking for accommodations and like what gender role you want to be playing and this and that. I noticed we don't do that, and I don't mind at all. But I'd also like to hear your take on that.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Like the accommodations thing, like what topic should we avoid because it bothers you, stuff like that.
Boundary.
Well, in a troupe, in my troupe, we kind of know one another. We get to know one another, so it almost doesn't need to be officially talked about too much. Um, but anyone who has an issue with something can certainly bring it up, but it hasn't occurred. Uh, we pretty much all seem to be on the same page with if you're triggered, that's your problem. Um, if you've got a bunch of landmines hidden around the place, you know where they are. Dig them up, get rid of them. Don't make me have to step on your landmine. Um, make your skin a little thicker. Um, we're doing comedy. We're not doing humor. We're
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
comedy. Comedy is sometimes edgy. Now, yes, we've talked about there are lines and the things you don't do, things you don't cross. And as a group that works together all the time, you do discuss it, and you do set out those lines for sure, and you keep communication open. And anything anybody says or wants, that's cool. But we try not. I have a lot of things that bother me, like personally, like I hate this and I hate that. But um, I'll take that thing that bothers me, and I'll be that character. I'll make myself the thing that bothers me, or that triggers me. I'll be that and play it and see what it's like to do it from inside. And then suddenly it kind of loses its scariness, you know. Um, I guess I just don't. I mean, I think that we all have an idea of what is not a good idea to do, but I don't like to be handing out rules to people around the other side of the globe. Um, I don't, you know, you know better than I. So I don't. Comedians are supposed to be the tip of the spear. Comedians are supposed to be
Exactly.
the thing that hurts, the
Yes.
thing that sticks into society first. And sometimes it's not an enviable thing to do, and sometimes you don't get liked for doing that.
Yeah.
But that's your job. You're the court jester, and the king doesn't always like you.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I'm all for respect and all that, but it bothers me a little when people start out with don't say this, don't touch on that, don't. It's like boundaries right away in a limiting sense. I don't know. Like you can always react the way you want to react to a topic, right? If you don't like it, but you don't say like don't talk about that topic. Because what if
That
it comes up? Like
I know.
you're not exactly
I know.
thinking when you're.
I know. I know. You need to. Everyone needs to just chill a little bit. Everyone needs to calm the fuck down. And play
Here, here.
and just play something that is the opposite of you. I do it all the time. I said
Right.
more than half the time on stage I play a woman. I don't choose. It's 50-50 what I'm going to be. And sometimes when I play a woman, the other character doesn't realize I'm a woman and thinks I'm a gay male, and they treat me that way. So now I'm a gay male, or maybe I'm a this, or maybe I'm that, or maybe I'm. But so as long as I'm trying to be respectful. But yes, there are lines you can't cross. I know what they are in my country and why. And I've talked about this before. It goes back to history and what groups of people have been screwed over in this country, my country, and what groups of people haven't. And the ones who have been screwed over, well, it's probably not a good idea to make fun of them. You've lost that privilege. Those who have been screwed over, have not been screwed over, yeah, you can make fun of them. So you kind of get to know it. And if I'm going to be playing a particular type of character, I try to imagine that there's an entire family of that character sitting in the audience. How would they feel about what I'm about to do?
Tom, I also remember you. I asked you a question if it's okay to swear and say some bad words or sexual words. You said to me that what if your grandma is sitting in front of you watching? What would he feels about it talking about you like that?
That's how I feel. That doesn't stop other people from doing it. I tell my troupe before every show and in every rehearsal, I take them aside and ask them not to do that. Now, that doesn't mean that sexual things won't come up and very suggestive things won't happen. Fine. If a 10-year-old kid understands the nuance of what you're saying, then you're not that kid's problem. But it depends on the director. It depends on where you're doing the improv. If you don't own the theater, you don't have a right to do it whatever the hell you want in the theater any more than you have a right to write graffiti on the walls in the theater that you don't own. You don't have a right to chase away someone else's clients. So you better be on your best behavior as far as I'm concerned. That message doesn't get across to a lot of improvisers, but that's how I see it.
Example of boundaries. I think me, Lilith, and M were doing a dramatic improv by Dr. Cooper. He said, "What if you talk about cancer? You don't know what cancer is been. You're not being truthful about the cancer. Then you do not have to say or do not open up cancer on your improv if you do not know what it feels or you know
I don't
you didn't
believe that. I'm
you don't
sorry.
really. Oh, sorry. Okay.
I've never been on the moon, but I wouldn't tell somebody that they can't do a scene on the moon.
Okay. Okay. Get it.
I've never been to Asia.
You,
Doesn't mean that I can't do a scene in Asia.
you,
I mean,
Mm.
I've had 4 people in my family die of cancer, so I kind of know. And I have people in my improv troupe who have had cancer and who make jokes about it and do shows about it and deal with it that way. Would we knowingly do an entire thing about no, but we certainly, I would avoid it, but if it had to be there, I'm not going to worry about it. We're not going to turn it into the joke. It's,
Okay.
it's not going to be the
my,
joke.
my answer is already questioned. You said it that we don't have to turn it into a joke.
Right. Yeah. And if you're doing it just to shock people, it's clear. People can tell that. People can tell that it's not natural. It's not coming from anything real that's going on in the scene. You just said that to make people go, huh? And
I get it. I get it.
the hell with you, if that's what you do.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've, like I said, I've done improv with people who have had all kinds of shit in their lives, bad shit, and you can't tiptoe around everyone. You may as well just stop. You may as well just stop doing comedy. You just don't do comedy because nothing's funny. Because whatever you do, someone's going to be upset by it.
Yeah.
So try to at least have some common decency and a knowledge of history and what you have a right to say and what you've given up the right to say. In this country, we made fun of Japanese people for fucking ages. Before World War II, during and after, we just caricatured the hell out of those people. We really did. It was horrible. Not only that, but we also put them in concentration camps here. Even though they were Americans. They were Americans who were Japanese descent. We put them in concentration camps. So
Wait, for real?
Yes.
Wow, I thought it was a joke.
That's not a joke.
Okay.
We rounded up Japanese Americans and put them in camps during World War II. George Takei, who from Star Trek, grew up in a concentration camp in America.
Oh.
So guess what? Guess who's not going to be making fun of Japanese people? They've had their share, and I know it, and it's wrong. But I don't think we've ever done anything to Norwegians, so I can make light fun of a Norwegian person or a Canadian. It's different in a different country. I don't know what the French can do. I don't know what the Germans can do. I don't know what the Italians can do. I just know what I can't do. And as a director, you need to educate your people about it, which I do, because they don't all know that. They're all young. Anything else?
You mentioned something about comedy and humor. Like it's two different things.
To me, yes.
Yeah, but what's the difference for you?
To me, humor is like an editorial that someone writes or an essay that someone writes. That's comedy has an edge, has a point, literally a point. It's more aggressive. Humor is mild. Comedy isn't. As far as I'm concerned. Maybe it's because I grew up in New York and that's the way things are there. But I don't do humor. The funny the comic strips from old newspapers was humor. This is comedy. I don't think humor is edgy, or at least it may be, but on an intellectual level, not on a gut level. To me.
So I just wanted to further synthesize that. So does it mean like humor is more like jokes or there's just funny things, but comedy is grounded in life, like more like parody or satire or ironies? It's like life.
It's hard to say. Humor is grounded in life too, Mark Twain was humor. You know, um, um, t- uh, I think the intent is different. Um, I think I really think it's just a difference in degree. Someone who's giving a humorous speech at a sales conference isn't doing comedy. You know, and I see Bill Jenkins is still taking up 2 parking spaces in the employee lot. That's humor. Um, uh, Comedy would be a little bit more pointed than that. I think more. I think the intent is different. I think it's supposed to get you here. At least for me, a lot of the comedians I like are really on the edge. Really like, wow, did he really say that? Did he really go there? Whoa, good God, whoa. So, that certainly isn't humor, in my estimation. So, I don't think that improv is humor. It's not. It's not jokey. Long ago, comedians did humor. They did jokes. 2 Irishmen walk into a bar, blah, 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 blah. But nowadays, that's just not. Is that it? Okay.
I was wondering, which comedians um, do you look up to, and who has inspired your style of comedy?
Well, comedians don't inspire improv for me, but the stand-up comedians that I like are Doug Stanhope, Jim Jeffries, Bill Burr. There's a British guy named Stuart Lee. He's fucking brilliant. Another British guy named James Acaster. He's brilliant. But if I had to name some, but that has absolutely zero to do with improv for me. Nothing. In fact, tonight we had comedians and improvisers in the show, and afterwards people came out and they wanted to take photos. And they were like, "Can we get the comedians together?" And they meant us too. And I'm saying, we're not comedians. We're funny. They're the comedians. We're the improvisers. It's different. They love me. Yeah. Fuck you. The funny's over. What's that?
It's funny how improvisers are always going to be comedians. For example, oh, you're an improviser. Oh, so you must be the funny guy.
Well, we are funny. We're just not comedians.
It is funny, but nothing wrong.
We are funny. We're like funny actors. We wouldn't call Tom Hanks a comedian.
Life is funny.
Hmm?
Life is funny.
Yes. That's the whole point. To me, that's the whole point of it all. Is that this is hilarious to anybody looking in. It's that's what we're doing. That's it. Did you ever see the game Mousetrap, where they have the little thing that kicks the thing, blah, 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 and the marble goes here and hits the thing and hits the other thing and comes down and catches the mouse? Yeah. Multiply that times 1,000,000, and that's kind of what the universe is. And what's funny is that we think we can control things. Yes, 2 Tuesdays from now at 2:00, I'm going to really. You think you're in control? That's what's funny. It's the rat in the maze that doesn't go anywhere, who thinks one more corner and I got this. It's like, that's fucking hilarious. That's us. And we make it funnier the more we ignore that. So It's funny. You're right. There's no way around it. Divine comedy. So, are we ready to do some? Because we've
Yes, please.
I've been asked to preach here for a while. Yes. Okay. Okay. We'll keep. We gotta rush through now. We'll keep it short, really short. I'll do 2 minute, 2 minutes tops. Bang, 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 bang. Okay. Let's do it. Keep it grounded. Do the things that we do. And here, names. Gone. Go.
Are you new here? Oh, um, you have
I'm
asthma?
no. I'm actually. I'm just. No, I don't. I don't have it. I'm fine.
Okay.
It's just I'm. Uh, I don't know. Psychologically triggered by cigarettes. So I keep this. You know, it's empty. So I, you know, it's because it's.
Uh, so you just finished schooling?
Hmm?
Schooling.
Yes, I did.
S- Yeah.
Yeah.
So why did you drop here?
Um, I wanted to make something of my life. You know, because I haven't been. Now it's. I think I should.
I think you're too young.
Um, Mozart was 9 when he wrote his first symphony.
You know, you know, boy, I
Steve.
make this as a Steve.
Steve.
I make this as a living. You
Oh.
have dollars there?
Oh, it's. Oh. No. I
So you
thought.
walk out of this bar and find dollars, okay? You're
I,
wasting my time.
uh, wow. You are a
What?
very commanding person. Like, you're cool. Like, I just want to be like you. That's the whole. That's basically it. I want to be like you.
Like me?
Yes. You're
I
like
s-
so cool. You make me feel this tall, like that. I wish I just. That's amazing. I look up to people like that.
Why would you like to be like me? I sell myself to other people
I know, but at
to
least people
earn.
want you. At least people want you. I couldn't give myself away to other people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, would you buy me?
Well, boy, I need cash.
All right. How
You
about
can just.
Bitcoin?
Is
Bitcoin?
that the new?
Yeah,
What's that?
I do Bitcoin.
Cryptocurrency? Well,
Yeah, like I have I have 1.5 million fake dollars. I think.
s- okay, so
Wait,
you
hang
just
on.
go.
No, it's zero now. It's zero now. I really need this
Can
job. Same.
you,
Ha, 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 ha. Hmm. Ha
Hmm.
ha. Who's powerful?
Hmm.
Uh who is powerful?
We are.
Yes, we are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are
We are.
power.
We are. We are powerful.
Yes. No, it's we're. We're powerful. Not we
We're
are.
powerful
We're powerful.
with an apostrophe.
No, I said we're powerful.
We
Like,
were
where?
powerful.
Where?
We
Where?
are powerful. What are we powerful or not?
No, I'm said where? Where it? Where the powerful? Where? Where?
Where?
Yeah, where?
Where?
I don't know. Where? Say where?
Is it where or we're or we are?
Where?
We are.
Powerful word.
I what?
Where is a powerful word.
I thought we were powerful.
Where? Where?
So we're not powerful. You and I are not powerful. We're not. We have no power. I have no power.
We have no power?
I'm asking you.
Ah, I thought you asked me too.
Where? No, not where. We're no.
Weird. It's weird.
You know what we are?
What?
Powerful.
We are powerful.
That's what I said.
That's what you said.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Is that a new cologne?
Oh, you noticed.
I always notice. I always notice every time you walk to your cubicle.
Oh, I'm glad that you noticed. You really did?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Oh, I was hoping you would because I know how much you like the smell of the Xerox machine. So I thought maybe
Toner.
I could. Yeah,
Toner.
all right, toner.
You wearing toner? I mean,
Yes,
Yves
all
Saint
over.
Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent's toner.
Yes, it's like the
Oh,
newest one, and the sales lady sprayed it on me, and I thought, maybe
is that what all the black stuff is around your it's toner.
right here. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. I was hoping that maybe that would also. Oh, well, look at that! It came off.
You
I could.
mind if I smell it?
Oh, sure. Would you like me to make the Xerox sound like zzz?
No. That's
No,
all right.
no. Yeah.
Ah,
Well, I'm glad that you noticed. So,
Have
maybe I could, now that we're talking, maybe we could, hit the Xerox copy room and
I
copy
just
stuff.
I was in the supply closet before,
Oh, that is so naughty.
and I opened up. I didn't even need one, but I opened up a new black inkjet cartridge, not toner, actual ink.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't mean to react that way. I have to keep
I've
my
got it.
composure.
I've got it right here. Here,
Oh my God, that is such a.
try it.
Uh,
Try it.
this is like the happiest day of my life.
That ain't that Epsom shit. That's HP.
And that's like what, like the holy grail of all the toners and the ink cartridges. Like, I cannot. Will you marry me?
Yes, I will. I will. And you can Xerox that.
Mashed potato, please.
You can't reach the mashed potatoes? You can't reach the Yeah, okay. Here. You go. You go. Are you almost done?
You're seated beside the mashed potato, so that's why I
No, you're right.
Yeah?
But I mean, are you almost done? I mean, we only get an hour for lunch.
I'm taking my time.
I know, but it's not your time. It's
The rehearsal's like an hour from now, and we can rest, right?
Can we at least run our lines while you're eating?
All right, sure.
No, don't stop eating. Don't stop eating. I'll have a breadstick while we're doing this. Okay?
Okay. I
All
think
right.
I can do that.
Okay. Here we go. Page 28. Kevin enters the room.
Hold on. Living room scene, yeah?
Kevin enters the room.
All right,
Kevin
okay.
enters the room.
Sure.
Oh, it's you again.
Yes. I have been here for 15 minutes and you haven't seen me.
I understand. You have had quite a day.
What's my line again?
I don't know why you're eating mashed potatoes while we're doing this. It's very distracting.
Just give me my line.
Okay.
We'll go through
You
this.
have had quite a day is your cue.
All right, okay.
I have.
All right. Okay.
You have had quite a day.
Seems to me that you're...
I have. It's I have. Why are you ad-libbing?
Sorry.
It's the
Run it back.
There's no way you can practice with mashed potatoes.
Can you just stop doing that to me?
You have had quite a day.
I don't want to do this anymore. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take a
I
rest.
have.
You're ruining my appetite right now.
You're ruining the play.
You're ruining my mashed potato.
What's going to happen if we don't have mashed potatoes for you in the play? You're not going to know what to do.
You're kidding me, right? You're not giving me any mashed potatoes. That is my energy booster.
Okay. I'm going back. Going back.
So you're doing this to me, huh?
I'm going back. No, I'm going back. Have your potatoes. Have your mashed potatoes. Have some extra gravy.
Please.
Have some dessert. Have dessert.
Are there potato salad?
What is with you and potatoes?
Potatoes give me energy. Potatoes are life.
Oh, God.
I love my chips. I love my French fries. I love garlics and potatoes.
I hate actors.
Wake up, Brenda! Wake up, Brenda!
What? Someone in the house? Someone in the house?
You're
Someone in
talking,
the house?
you're talking in your sleep.
No, I wasn't.
Who's Richard? Huh? Who's Richard?
I said richer. I wish we were richer.
You said richer. I love you.
I'd love you if you were richer.
Huh. The other night you said Joshua.
Joshua. Joshua could use another beer.
Brenda, you're pulling my leg.
Okay. Okay. I'm seeing Richard and Joshua. Okay. You
At
happy
the
now?
same time?
Not at the same time. Tuesdays and Thursday for Richard, Monday, Wednesday, Friday for Joshua. Saturdays, we flip a coin.
Which day am I in?
Sunday?
Never on a Sunday.
Yeah,
That's our faith, right?
it is.
No wonder, Brenda, you're so clean and pure and wholesome.
On a Sunday.
You gave me Sunday.
On a Sunday.
So, how's Richard?
I don't even like them. Don't
Then
even
why do
like
you give him a lot of days?
I don't know. I just got this Google Calendar app and I just decided to try to use it. And next thing I know, I got these guys all booked up.
Can you lift your chin up? You have a kiss mark.
Well, at least you know I'm not lying.
You're lying down with anyone.
Oh, I love you and your pun. I love it. You know what?
Is
Keep
Richard
punning like that.
funnier?
I'm going to give you
Richard
Tuesdays
funnier?
and Thursdays. I'm going to give you Tuesdays and Thursdays. I swear to God.
Is Richard funnier?
Oh my God. That's golden. You're doing fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, you look good. You look good.
I do.
Yeah.
You think I'll make it?
Yeah. You look great, man. Yeah, just fix the collar. Just fix the collar a little bit. You know, you're good. You're good. All right, all right. Don't strangle yourself. Okay, no, let's. What do you do? What? Stop! No, don't. Don't. What?
Damien, it's bad. It's bad, Damien.
What? What? Just loosen it. Loosen it. Pull it down a little bit. Oh, there you go. Oh, God. What is it with you and neckties?
It's I've been a farmer all my life, and it's my first time. It's my first time taking a job that concerns servers and computers
Okay.
and keyboards.
Okay. Relax. Think of the keyboard like rows and rows of cultivated land. You know, like seeds. Like the letters are seeds, and you're harvesting. I don't know anything about farming.
You won't, because everything was burned.
Oh yeah, that must have really sucked. That's why you're taking the computer job, huh?
Yes.
Oh God. How did it all burn?
When you left the pirates, they came
Pirates.
and they pillaged the village. And
Pillaged.
I was, yes,
Pillaged. Not something
Yeah.
that happens a lot in this century. Pillaging.
Yeah.
Did they
just-
plunder? Did they plunder?
Yeah, they plundered also.
Oh my God, you were plundered and
Plunder
pillaged?
pillage. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I called out for your name, but I know you were far away.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were plundered and pillaged. I would have come by to smite them if I'd known.
But you can help me smite those servers. I mean, you're my boss now.
I know. Just handy tip. Don't water them. Don't spread manure on them. And I think you're ahead of the game. Okay?
Don't water them.
Don't
Don't
water
spread.
the keyboards. Don't spread manure on them.
Got it. Got it. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, now just do the thing with the
Yeah.
tie.
Yeah.
Just do the thing with just yeah. There you go. Okay.
You must be Fred.
Yeah, I'm Fred.
Mm, sorry, I'm a little late.
It's all right. It's all right. I was just holding a table. Holding a table. And
you don't look
like
exactly
the
like your
picture,
picture,
like the
but
picture. I know. I know. I get told that a
but
lot.
I figured it was you because
I
because is this flower for me?
the one in my lapel. Just take it. Just take it. Yeah, there you go.
I like flowers.
Oh, good. I do too. I like to wear them. Yeah, I knew it would be a problem. I have this strange condition where I look like this in person, but every photograph of me looks wonderful. It's really horrible. It's because everyone is always disappointed when they finally meet me, and there's nothing I can do about it. I look
I'm not
stunning in photographs.
I'm not disappointed. I'm just
Really?
surprised.
Oh, this is great.
But it's okay. It's okay. I can adjust to your face.
Okay, good.
I mean,
How's your vision?
it's
20/20
it's
or 20/30 or slight astigmatism or
that's it.
slight astigmatism?
Yep.
Oh, good. Good. That works. You're not going to have that fixed.
I may.
Oh, okay. Well, by then we'll know each other. It won't matter.
It's okay. I mean, I love talking to you.
Oh,
I mean,
this is
it wasn't enough anymore to just be talking over the phone. I'm so happy we're finally meeting face to face.
it's a shame though. I mean, that we had to meet here. I mean, in this restaurant, because I mean, I am working. Um, I
It's
mean, I can I can serve you. Would you like to start with drinks or?
no, I'm sorry I popped in like this, but I did tell you that I couldn't wait to meet you already.
Right. So you came to where I work. Yeah. Okay. Well,
And yeah, and I
I
dressed
got your
up
table.
nice for
Yeah.
you.
Did you? Oh,
It,
okay. That's nice. Okay, that's
it's
nice.
not nice
It's not. Oh, yeah. Oh,
enough.
yeah. Look, it's all on a sliding scale. Um. Okay.
You can work. You can work. I'll just watch you while
No.
you're working.
You okay? Yeah. Just.
Just
It's
just bring me a salad.
okay. Unfortunately, this isn't my table. I. Uh,
It's not.
I mean, no. Uh,
Oh,
I shouldn't really be even talking to you. This is Steve's table. Um.
oh. I'll watch you from afar.
Okay.
You look better anyway when you're far.
Okay. Okay. Steve will be right with you. Uh, can we start you off with something to drink or some bread or
Yeah, I think I
some
need it.
appetizers? We've got the mozzarella
I
sticks. They're really nice. And
can you get me a shot of tequila with salad?
shot of tequila
Yeah.
with salad. We are going to get along really well.
Ah.
So you said you had two things to tell me.
Yes, I came here just to get my number one. And
Should I?
number two, I'm keeping the cat.
No. Mr. Belvedere? You're not keeping Mr. Belvedere. You're not keeping Mr.
Mr.
Belvedere.
Belvedere and I go a long way. We bonded more than you did with Mr.
You don't
Belvedere.
know what Mr. Belvedere and I got up to when you weren't around. Okay? Mr.
Sean,
Belvedere and I watched
no.
6 seasons of Battlestar Galactica together. Okay? In 1 week. The week you were gone. Have you watched Battlestar Galactica with Mr. Belvedere? Because I did. He liked it.
Yada, 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 yada. You don't even know where Mr. Belvedere's most ticklish part is.
Oh, I do. I do. But I deny him that until he straightens himself up. I'm better for him. You'll just tickle him. I'm better for him. I will withhold that, and he knows it. That's why he respects me.
Mr. Belvedere has the right to choose which among the two parents, or shall I say parents, he wants to go with.
Well,
And I
I
think
say
the way it is,
possession is 9/10 of the law. And I have Mr. Belvedere here in an undisclosed location.
you didn't.
I've put today's newspaper next to him. I took a photo of him, so you'll know it was today. Here
You
it is.
didn't.
Here it is. I just sent it to you.
You didn't.
Yes. And you know how much he loves sitting on newspapers. So
This only proves that you can't have Mr. Belvedere. You don't have the right mindset or the capability to take care of him at all.
do you know what I say to that? I say to that what Mr. Belvedere would say to that. I say,
Well, here's what I say to you.
stupid. You there? Okay.
I told you we didn't have to drive all the way to your family house at this time.
Well, why wouldn't we though?
Look at this traffic.
Okay, I mean, if you drive, there's going to be traffic because other people have the same idea and they're going to drive. So, I mean,
I told you that it would be better to make this trip the week after, on the weekend. Look, it's rush hour and everyone's just here. We've been stuck here for 2 hours now.
okay, so let's use the time. Let's talk. We never talk.
We
Let's
always
just talk.
talk. You always tell me to do this. You always tell me to do that. You always ask me so many things
I
at
know.
home.
I know. Let's talk where I don't ask you things and don't tell you to do things. Let's pretend I'm not your wife. Let's pretend that I'm not constantly asking you questions and asking you how you feel and telling you what to do.
Okay,
Can we try that?
sure. But what do we talk about then?
I don't know.
The kids.
I don't know what else to say other than to ask you questions or to tell you what to do. So this is a challenge, okay?
Well, the other day I saw Matt make a Lego tower of the Eiffel Tower. That was interesting.
Okay, this isn't working. This isn't working because I feel the need to ask you something. Just anything. Did you call and make the doctor's appointment for my mom? Have you bought the fertilizer for the lawn? Um, uh,
Wait.
did you buy the 3x5 index cards that I asked you
Stop.
for? Or the
Stop.
okay.
We're right here, right now, stuck in traffic, and I can just leave the room right now. I
Oh,
could leave the car. You forced me to go on this trip, and now you're like all over me again.
I'm sorry. Okay. You think of something to say that's not about stupid Lego towers.
It's what Matt made. It's not stupid. Aren't you proud that our son can make an engineering wonder like the Eiffel Tower?
Oh, yeah. Of course. Do you know who has to pick up and clean up all the Legos when he's done with his Eiffel Tower that looked a lot more like the Berlin Wall than it looked like the Eiffel Tower? Your son made the Berlin Wall, okay? The
Honey,
Berlin Wall has been knocked down since before he was born. How did he know to make a Berlin Wall? What's wrong with him?
Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes time. It takes time for
Rome
Matt
wasn't
to.
built out of Legos.
The Berlin Wall wasn't made out of Legos as well.
I didn't have to clean up the Berlin Wall when it came down. Oh, wait, there's a lane. The lane is opening. There's a cut in front of the Volvo.
Okay. There you go.
If I weren't here, you wouldn't know what to do.
Well, you might be right, but
Put on the Beyonce CD.
which one is it? Is it the
The
one or
Christmas one.
two?
Put on the Christmas one.
Okay.
Loud. Okay. Here we are.
Christmas.
Whew. Any thoughts? Boy, we did really do a lot of philosophizing at the beginning today. Any thoughts about any of that stuff? Something you saw, something you did.
I like you and Chrissy getting off on toners and ink.
Yeah.
That
There's
was
a lot of
fun.
truth into that, you know. I do like toners and ink cartridges.
It turns you on.
It does.
Yeah, you don't have to
Office
argue
supplies
to do
do.
an improv scene.
Uh,
It's nice when two people in the scene are on the same side. Nice. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah, so that's one of those things that if she says that she likes the smell of, if I've said something about her perfume and she says she likes the smell of toner, well, then she's wearing toner. Go there. You know? Still grounded.
Yeah,
Anything?
honestly, I was kind of worried if it was grounded enough. Um, I did believe that I was wearing toner and I had libag just like toner.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? That was a grounded scene. It certainly was. It came from randomness, which we talk about all the time. Random stuff. Wearing perfume, walk by the cubicle, like the smell, like something about the smell of Xerox machines. No reason to put any of that stuff in ahead of time.
Mm,
No preconceived notion of why. But there it is. It's floating around. Do something with it. You know.
shiny object. Yeah.
Yeah, and it becomes organic. Anything that happens in that scene, if you use all that stuff, grows organically. You don't have to go grabbing stuff outside. You don't need an alien. Anything else? Anyone? Anything you saw? because there was some funny stuff. Yeah.
I love the scene with Michael and the Tom because I can see in Michael's eyes that he is planning it to another direction. It's like the impression that Michael is like he's preparing a scene. Then you like divert it
Went to others.
like went to someone else, somewhere else, and it's it's about color. So I was laughing about it.
Well, I mean, it looked to me like he was looking in the mirror and putting on a necktie. So
Yeah.
you know, wasn't that what you were doing?
Uh,
No.
I'm putting a shawl. So, but
Oh,
neckties. Yeah. I
okay.
Fun.
I like it. I like it. The
Like
neckties.
I can work too.
Well, since I said necktie before you said shawl, it's a necktie,
Yeah.
and you did.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think he could use his shawl to be a necktie too.
yeah, but you could, but um, at some point it's time to what do we say, to give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
If it's clear that
Go along.
this is it and it's just as good this way as that way, then don't try to force it to be both things. If you had said shawl and I said necktie, that would be my mistake. That would be a mistake. But since I don't know and I'm trying to guess from what you're doing what that is, if I make a guess, then that's what it is.
Yes.
We go that way. Random.
I like the comment. I think it's my. I always laugh when there's a creative misunderstanding. So I was really laughing about where where with the H, where with an apostrophe. That was really
Oh.
funny.
That I love that. That was a very very weird meta scene.
Yeah.
That was very strange. I and we both
Josh.
figured out quickly that was going to be the thing we're going to do. That was going to be the game. So it was fun. That was a fun thing to do. Very different, very unusual.
Really like you enjoy first scene. It's like I was watching a movie that was shot in Chinatown.
Oh,
and even if there were misunderstood signals, it still worked. Like you were applying for a job, but she was the hooker. So it's like okay, trying to.
I should have known from the cigarette. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else that you liked?
I enjoyed our scene. I like that you picked up right away on the eyeball thing.
Which
The
Eyeball?
online
Restaurant.
dating meeting up with you scene.
oh, right. Yes.
The restaurant, yeah. That was funny. I think that was funny how the twist happened. So it was not just like a first time meeting, but rather a waiter who was being disturbed in his job.
Yeah, and I like that twist you put in, like, oh. so that's why the flower was in the lapel.
Well, see
Actually-
that's an example of Where
Changing
am I?
orbit.
exactly changing in orbit. We were getting comfortable, so it was time to put on the rockets and change the orbit just a tiny bit.
Just like what you did with George, the physicality of the pussycat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, that's true. But that was a very funny scene. I thought that was good, and he picked up exactly what I was going to do, and he. It's not hard. I got a cat sitting right over here, so. What's
You
that?
should have started singing, memory or something.
It's hard to hear you.
George.
I enjoyed our scene. It's also
Yes.
You
There's
can
an
literally
alien.
see.
There's an alien.
Yeah. Anything else? Do you remember any of the other scenes that you haven't mentioned so far? Uh, it's hard to hear you. It's really hard to hear you.
Yeah,
You sound like you're
you,
coming from the other side of the moon.
or underwater.
But you did say something about Alvin, and that you liked something about the scene with Alvin.
The potatoes.
Potatoes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 potatoes. You ate potatoes. We ate potatoes.
No, I think how
Ah,
I think
you're
what
having
I
a scene right
appreciate,
now.
I think he's having a
what
seizure. Um,
I was
what were you
saying,
saying?
what I appreciate about your scene with Alvin was the comfort in silence, that you didn't have to fill in the silence so
Mm,
quickly. And I
mhm.
think there was an effort also for on object work on Alvin that we don't usually see in online improv
Ah, yeah, yeah.
anymore.
I was impressed with the
Yeah.
eating. Like,
Yeah,
wow, he can
that's
really eat without food.
yeah, that's good. Absolutely.
Object work.
Hmm. Okay. Uh, let's see. What about the last scene with Dennis there? That was nice.
Right.
Driving,
The driving scene.
husband and wife scene. Hmm. Uh, cool. Okay. So let's do the thing we do where we go down the line and just say a thing that has occurred to you.
Um, I'm afraid of experimenting, like roles and all, and I'm just happy that I overcame a fear.
Hmm.
So I think I would like experiment on real jobs of experimenting roles that are so far from me.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm
Anti.
excited.
Cool. Josh.
I want to explore. I want to explore on the dramatic side of improv. You know,
Ah,
Could do that.
Dramatic.
It will be hard because we'll just be laughing. But the more
With Josh, I don't know. It's hard because he has this ability to make us smile whatever he does.
I know, we would be doing a scene, and I'm going to stab you with a pen, and that'd be the end of it. And um,
It's just naturally funny. My
yeah,
gosh.
he is. Chrissy, what do you got?
Just trying to remember every day that you have to establish a very good connection, react to your partner, and ground your scenes all the time. So, yeah, and I'm learning a lot from your scenes. It helps me expand my vocabulary in terms of what I know, and um, it's just generally fun for me. Thank you very much.
You don't have to ground all your scenes uh, forever for the rest of your improv life. It's just,
Oh, okay.
in other words, there will be
For
improv
the rest.
directors that tell you that they don't need that, and there are
Ah,
certain types of like the improv I was doing tonight was a slightly less grounded, more premise driven because we were comedians were doing their bit for 5 minutes and then we would get up and act out some of the strange things that we heard them say. So we couldn't. We try to you try to keep it grounded, but it's going to be premise driven because you basically working with the premise. It's a completely different mindset. So you don't have to always be grounded, but it's nice if you can because a lot
right.
of people improvisers can't. They don't learn those keys on the piano, but it's nice to be able to do it. And I'd say it'll help you about 80% of the time.
Tom, do you mind if I ask what's a premise-driven scene like?
A premise driven scene is when there's some idea already floating around, and you both kind of look at each other and say, I know what we're going to do with that idea. And so
Mm,
somebody says a thing, and hey, and oh yeah, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, We got the joke out. Somebody better end the scene because that's as far as the scene can go because the joke is out.
Mm.
Right.
We've
Okay.
done it. So it's a little. You can still do grounded work that way, but it's not the same process.
Okay.
And if you're doing a show that has both of those things mixed in it, premise driven stuff and grounded stuff, it's really hard to shift gears mentally, but you learn. Alvin, what do you got?
Um, I'm reminded of how short games can be used um, in a scene setup, um, and it makes the the whole scene more interesting and adds color into it, like how Josh and Tom um, did that scene of repetitions, and how I believe it was Joy also doing that scene with you with the in Chinatown, as Josh said.
Mhm.
And I think I have to brush up my short games um, lineup so I can use it in pocket scenes.
Mhm. Okay, cool. Yes, I agree. Dennis, what do you got?
So it's been a long time since I played, so it's nice seeing different kind of scenes a while ago, and it just reminded me of how um there's a lot of surprises that could happen in scenes, especially like short games to drama to just comedy. And maybe something that I really is thinking about until now is the one that you said about humor and comedy. I do get it. It's just more of like how do you actually maybe live it or do it right. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, George.
I hope my audio is okay. Is it? Test mic,
It's
test
okay.
mic.
Relatively quick. Talk while it is.
Okay, so watching the scenes, I just thought of the idea of always coming in with an open palm and being able to be ready to receive an offer from your school partner, and at the same time make an offer. But don't make an offer by bringing an entire house. Just offer a brick so that you two can build the house together.
Yes, and very often the thing, if you and I are in a scene together, the thing that I offer you, I have no idea why I'm offering it to you. I don't know any
Hmm.
better than you why I said or did that.
Right.
And you'll say or do something that you have not really much better idea why you said or did, but eventually it will come together and we'll see it and then we can start to create something. But if we try to create it ahead of time, it's prepackaged and it's not very good. But yes, I agree. What you got?
Um, Two things. One is similar to Joyce in the sense that I like I have this thing of trying to go for my antitype when I offer character now. And the other thing is what what Dennis also mentioned about comedy having an edge. What you said. So just to have that more in mind. So it you can I can elevate also the scenes somehow like without really thinking about it. So those two things. Thank
Yes,
you.
I had to tell one of the people in my in-person class who I know him pretty well. And one of the notes I had to give him was, "You've got to learn to be more cynical in life. Uh, Everything is not roses. Everything is not rainbows and unicorns. Um, at least if you can't be cynical, at least figure. I mean, I'm not spiritual, but I get it. I get it, and I can sort of channel it, and it's a human thing. So I'm
Mm.
human, so I can get it. So so he needed to get that cynicism. He's just not cynical, and he needs to develop it. And I gave him a few things to do, and he did. I said, we need every once in a while from you. We need the dark side.
Mm.
Comedy is the light side and the dark side together, and so we need the dark side. It can't just be the light side. And so yes, it's hard for a lot of people to do that, and it's hard for a lot of people who live on the dark side to not be
To go to the
overpoweringly
light.
horrible all the time. Yeah. Michael, what you got?
Yeah. Uh, I like what you said uh, about what George said earlier. Doing things for no reason and letting your partner justify it.
Yes.
So yeah, that's it. Just doing things for no reason and let your partner justify it. Trusting. So yeah.
That's right.
Randomness.
Randomness. Right. Lilith, what do you got?
I just like to thank you for continuing these sessions. It means a lot to us, especially in the pandemic.
Uh,
And I do hope we find a way to connect to Facebook. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's the one type of connecting that I don't seem to be able to do. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good day.
Bye. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Tom.
Bye.
Thanks a
Take care.
lot.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank